Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Bhajanana
Yashodanandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Bhajanana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
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 Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashata Deshatarine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prasadakarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Kund Bihari Radha Kund Bihari Radhe.
Jaya Radha Kunjari, Jaya Radha Kunjari, Jaya
Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva Mai Subhadra.
Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra.
Jaya Srinath Ji, Jaya Balagopal, Jaya Srinath Ji, Jaya Giri Govardhan.
Jaya Srinath Ji, Jaya Balagopal, Jaya Srinath Ji, Jaya Govardhan.
Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Govinda, Jaya Govinda, Jaya Govinda, Jaya Govinda.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Dhṛtarāṣṭra Shri Shrimati His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Dhṛtarāṣṭra Shri Shrimati His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Dhṛtarāṣṭra Shrimadbhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gaura. Hare Krishna. I feel like I should be switching this way. It's okay. Welcome to ISKCON Detroit morning Shrimadbhagavatam class. We are in Canto 1 and we're going to be reading from chapter 13, text 57 today. But before we get started, we'll just say a quick little prayer for all the devotees here and, in order to honor Shrimadbhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayam Namaskrityam.
Narayam Namaskrityam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayudiriye.
Tato Jayudiriye.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhatreshu.
Nastapayeshu Bhatreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki.
Hare Krishna. So, we're going to be reading from this beautiful nectarian book, Shrimadbhagavatam. If you don't have a copy, pick it up yesterday, or definitely today if you did not do it yesterday. So it is the most important Purana book that you can have in your home. So it has such wonderful stories and how to live our lives and examples of great personalities teaching us how to live our lives. So we are reading from Canto 1, chapter 13, which is Dhṛtarāṣṭra quits home, and today is text 57. Just flip on 2 pages. Sava Adyatanand Rajan. Sava Adyatanand Rajan. Sava Adyatanad Rajan. Parata Panchamehani.
Parata Panchamehani.
Parata Panchamehani.
Parata Panchamehani.
Parata Panchamehani.
Parata Panchamehani.
Kevalaram hasyati swam.
Kalevaram hasyati swam.
Kalevaram hasyati swam.
Kalevaram hasyati swam.
Kalevaram hasyati swaya or swam.
Kalevaram swam.
Takchak basmi bhavishyati. Takchak basmi bhavishyati.
Savadadyatanad Rajan.
Savadadyatanad Rajan.
Parata Panchamehani.
Parata Panchamehani.
Kalevaram hasyati swam.
Kalevaram hasyati swam.
Takka basmi bhavishyati.
Takcha basmi bhavishyati. Going word for word. Sa,
Sa,
he, va,
Va,
in all probability.
In all probability.
Adya,
Adya.
today. Tana,
Tana,
from.
from
Rajan,
Rajan,
O king.
okay,
Parata,
Parata,
ahead.
ahead,
Panchami,
Panchami,
on the 5th.
on the 5th,
Ahani,
Ahani,
day.
day,
Kalevaram,
Kalevaram,
body.
body,
Hasyati,
Hasyati,
shall quit.
shall quit,
Swam,
from
his own.
His own.
Tat,
that,
that. Cha,
Chak,
also.
also,
Bashmi,
Bashmi,
ashes.
ashes,
Bhavishyati,
Bhavishyati,
will turn into.
eternity.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. O King, he will quit probably on the 5th day from today, and his body will turn to ashes. Please repeat. O King,
He will quit
his body, most probably, on the 5th day, from today, and his body will turn to ashes. Purport. Narada Muni's prophecy prohibited Yudhishthira Maharaj from going to the place where his uncle was staying, because even after quitting the body by his own mystic power, Dhṛtarāṣṭra would not be in need of any funeral ceremony. Narada Muni indicated that his body by itself would burn to ashes. The perfection of the yoga system is attained by such mystic power. The yogi is able to quit his body by his own choice of time and can attain any planet he desires by turning the present body into ashes by self-made fire. I haven't seen that here in this lifetime, but it's possible. So, Jai. Before we start on this, we'll just say a few prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Padakama Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Sakana Shri Vishakam Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanustute Devi Pranamami Haripe Manchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So just reading the translation one more time. O King, he will quit his body most probably on the 5th day from today, and his body will turn to ashes. So here in this point in the chapter, so we know Dhṛtarāṣṭra, Queen Vidura, everyone has quit home, and Narada Muni is now speaking to Maharaj Yudhishthira. And Maharaj Yudhishthira, wanting to go to perform the funeral rites, right, and so forth, was told not to go by Narada Muni because Dhṛtarāṣṭra, by doing his meditation, practicing Ashtanga Yoga, right, by the river, he will already gain this ability, right? This is not David Copperfield type things going on right here, right? This is like true powers that you can obtain through through yoga, right? So today we don't have these types of abilities, very rare. So we just are not able to perform yoga in the purest of forms. But let's see what we can do about that. So that's just a recap of this particular chapter. But as we go in today's verse, so as we've heard throughout this chapter, death has a 100% death rate, right? It's 100%. It's coming to everyone, whether you like it or not. So Krishna comes as death, actually. So this is not a negotiable thing. This is unnegotiable. In Bhagavad Gita in 10:34, Krishna says, Mrityu sarva harasa chaham. I'm all devouring death, right? So there's a verse. So this is important. Like, we like to think, and it's very natural, right, that I'll adjust later. We saw Dhṛtarāṣṭra, right, hanging on, I'll become serious later, or I'll, attach to things or whatever. Many times, even today, you try to give someone a Bhagavad Gita, you're like, please take to spiritual life. They're like, not right now, maybe when I'm older. Okay, sure. But you're thinking that you're going to reach that old age state. If you do, great. If you don't, guess what? Death came for you beforehand. So, like this, Krishna says, no. I come as death and take everything. Everything, right? So your body, your plans, your attachments, everything, right? As some of you know, I'm going through a complete detachment right now and stuff, but yes, one day it will all be gone, right? I kept some things, but it will all be gone. So, when we look out into the world, body is everything. This world is running on the bodily concept of life, right? We are having wars because of this bodily conception of life, right? So, whether we like it, we will be forced to die at a certain point of time, right? But now, so, no one likes to die. No one wants to think of death in this day and time, right? When we look at this modern age, it's very much feared upon and stuff. But we can see in this particular verse that there's a preparation that's taking place, right? We know death is coming, and so we can understand how to prepare for it. And very interestingly enough, there was a pastime in which Maharaj Yudhishthira was actually asked many questions, and one of the questions he was asked was, what is the most wonderful thing in this world? And his answer was basically that the fact that countless number of living beings are being dragged to the court of Lord Yamaraj, right? But those who remain here think, I will never die, right? Every day, countless numbers of beings are sent to, the hellish planets, abode of Lord Yamaraj, right? To obtain their punishment. But here we think, I will never die, right? They just deny death. That's how fearful. One doesn't even want to think about it, right? It puts people into mental issues. So no matter how you try, sometimes like a little animal will be running away from a big animal and just close its eyes. Oh, maybe it'll go away, maybe it'll go away. Crash, right? So even if we close our eyes, we cannot escape death. So whether we like it or not, we have to bow down. We have to bow down to Krishna, right? Krishna is death personified as well, too. And so someone with better intelligence or someone with intelligence would voluntarily bow down to Krishna, because we know that whether we like it or not, Krishna is in control of this, right? And only way I can prevent death, or only way to think that I can prevent death is because I have this independent mentality, right? That I can be independent of Krishna, but we can't. So we have to learn to surrender. We have to learn to bow. And we see that with Dhṛtarāṣṭra, right? He was forced to face the truth, right? Everything was gone. We know that. And still he was attached. But Vidur then gave him the knowledge that death is at your door. What are you doing? You're living like a dog, right? And stuff. So this is not just Dhṛtarāṣṭra dealing with this. This is every single one of us dealing with this, right? In our attachments. So, death is there, Krishna will come, and we will have to surrender and bow down to him, right? So the final test comes, this death will come. What will you remember? Here, Narada Muni is saying to you this year, don't go to Dhṛtarāṣṭra. He will be fine. He doesn't need final rites. Another point too, if Yudhishthira goes there, the family attachment, right? What do you think about? What do you think about? What should you think about at this moment or this time of death? And Krishna tells us, right? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells us the ultimate examination system. When we come to that final exam in 8.6, Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tajati antakalevaram tam tam eva yati konteya sada tat bhava bhavat itaha. So, thank you. Whatever we remember at death, that is what we become without fail, right? So your last thoughts that you are having before you leave this particular body, that is where you're going to go, right? So, and that's without fail. So, the question is not whether we believe it theoretically or like, is this true or not? And stuff like that. The question is, what will come to my mind in that final moment, right? And stuff. And every moment in this particular life is we're creating our next body, right? Whatever you're thinking right now, I don't want to know, but whatever you're thinking right now, that is getting you closer to what you're going to become in your next body, right? Hopefully no next bodies and we go to Krishna, but just in case. So we're creating our, depending on what we're thinking right now. So every moment, if we are attached to family, if we're attached to a male or a female, in next life, we will be part of that family. You may not take birth in that family as a human, might be a cockroach in that family, but you will be attached to some kind of family life, right? If you're thinking and obsessed with female, you may become a female in your next life, but you may not become a human female. You might become some other kind of female, right? There's plenty of females in the world and stuff. Similarly, attached to money, whatever. If you're attached to Krishna, then Krishna will come and take you to his abode, right? Like, you may be a rock in Golok Vrindavan, but I guarantee you will be the happiest rock in right? And stuff. Because everything in the spiritual world is animate, right? A rock will even have feelings. A tree will have feelings. A tree will get to enjoy and reciprocate with Krishna, right? Just like Krishna will reciprocate with that tree. So don't think just because if I go back as a blade of grass that, you don't have that Satchitananda, moment. So anyhow, so Dhṛtarāṣṭra understood this, right? He's wasted his entire life. He must now purify his consciousness and really take to this process of Krishna consciousness. And an intelligent person will basically, if you're smart, you won't go for, little stones. You will go for the big diamond, right? You want the diamond. So an intelligent person will take the best thing. And that's what this Krishna consciousness is. It's a rare opportunity. And you basically don't want to miss this sale on bhakti, right? You go to the department store, sure, things may be on sale, but you want to go for the best, the best. So the acharyas explain something very beautiful. Pure devotional service is not cheap. It's not a cheap thing, right? It cannot be achieved simply by doing pious activities or doing charity or doing some good karma. Oh, I've done my good deed for the, I should go to heaven. No. Bhakti is independent of that. So, yet, at the same time, if we have this ability to obtain pure devotional service, right, which is actually being distributed freely, just come to the temple, there's plenty of service, right, and stuff, and especially in this age of Sankirtan, simply just chant if you can't do anything, right? So if you're able to come across this pure devotional service, grab it. grab it with 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 arms, whatever you can do, right? Because this Krishna Bhakti is available and you should take to it immediately. And why? Because it is this rare jewel, right? It's being sold in this marketplace of this material world, and it's very, very rare. Because if you can get this rare jewel, you can defeat death itself, right? So how so? And what is the price? What am I going to pay for this rare jewel, of Krishna consciousness? No amount of money is going to get you there. No amount of education or, knowledge or degrees or scholarship is going to get you there. Where you take birth has no influence that's going to take you there, right? Rupa Goswami actually says very nicely, pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be had by executing pious activities, even if practiced for hundreds of millions of lifetimes, right? You can do pious activities over and over and over again, millions and millions of lifetimes, but it still cannot be. It can only be grabbed by the price of loyalty or spiritual greed, right? We have to develop spiritual greed. What is the spiritual greed? I must have Krishna, right? This is the greed I want. At any cost, I must have him. I cannot live without him, right? This is my greed, right? And this is what is for sale, right? Through pure devotional service. So you run, you grab it, and all this. We know material greed. We know what people do for material greed, right? Like we've seen out in the world, right? Now, if we took that sense of material greed and that same greed we have for like sense gratification, if we applied that to Krishna, right? Imagine the Krishna Bhakti rasa that we would experience, right? The greed of like, oh, Krishna, I want to be with you 24 hours a day, serve you, do whatever I can for you. Like, with all my heart, with all my devotion. If I did that, right? That's Krishna consciousness. When you get Krishna consciousness, what do you get? You get Krishna, right? When you do pure devotional service, when Mother Yashoda tied those ropes around Krishna, right? Like, what do you get? You get Krishna, right? So the personal property of that person, the amount that we, in Bhagavad Gita even says, the amount that we surrender unto Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate accordingly, right? And stuff. So this is the greed that we have to kind of develop. I hope it makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? We need to know, I must have Krishna, right? How am I going to get it? By developing this spiritual greed, right? And stuff. So Dhṛtarāṣṭra, unfortunately, did not have this greed. He had greed for all other kind of things. I want this kingdom. I want my sons to have everything, whatever it may be. He had so much other kinds of greed for politics, whatever, control. But at the end, he developed this detachment, but it must go further. Just to be detached doesn't mean anything. You must detach and develop this greed for Krishna consciousness. I could be detached from the world and be a yogi under a tree and all that kind of fun stuff, right? But that doesn't get you anywhere, right? So, why is this so special? Because Krishna maintains his devotees, right? People fear that if I give up this material independence, what's going to happen to me? If I surrender to Krishna, what is going to happen to me, right? So, and Krishna answers this in Bhagavad Gita in 9:22. Yoga shamam vaham aham. Yeah. So, please forgive my Sanskrit. Maybe next lifetime I will have better Sanskrit. So, I personally carry what my devotees lack and preserve what he has, right? So, Srila Prabhupada was an amazing example of this, right? We know Srila Prabhupada's story, and especially of this particular beautiful Fisher Mansion temple, okay? So when this Fisher Mansion was up for sale, right, the devotees had asked Srila Prabhupada to come see this. They met with the real estate agent, and so Srila Prabhupada's talking to the real estate agent, and basically said, we're beggars. Give this to us for free. Just donate this beautiful, beautiful building to us for free. Now, real estate agent, practically fainted. Like, what are you talking about? He's expecting a big commission and, like he wants to sell this place and stuff like this. This palace, right? This is a palace here and stuff. And so anyhow, needless to say, Srila Prabhupada actually got this at a very, very discounted price, right?
Yeah.
And stuff. We know how, in fact, he bought this entire building for $300,000, which each room is worth more than $1 million. But to speak of $300,000.
And he offered them $50,000 less than they were asking.
Yes.
And they,
Yes.
They were asking $350,000.
And he's like 300.
$300,000.
So why is this? Because Srila Prabhupada had Krishna, right? Krishna's mercy. He had, Krishna can immediately give Srila Prabhupada because Srila Prabhupada was fully dependent on Krishna. He wasn't dependent on his own things, right? So the money came, right? Somehow or another, the money came through Amrish Prabhu and, yes, Mataji, I can't remember initiated her name right now.
It's a difficult name.
Sorry. And the Fisher Mansion ever since has become the Hare Krishna temple. So one of the 6 most important places in ISKCON. So
Wow, 6? Really?
there were 6 important temples to Srila Prabhupada, and this was the Bhaktivedanta Cultural Center. This is the cultural center of ISKCON. So anyhow, sorry, going back. So, Dhṛtarāṣṭra, what was his position? He was dependent on the Pandavas, right? No, you have to be dependent on Krishna, right? So, and that's what a devotee is. He's dependent on Krishna, and we are actually, this is our disease in this material world, right? We're dependent on so many other things except for Krishna. We have a material disease, and that's what it is, right? So we need to learn to actually shift and see Krishna in every moment, in everything, in every moment. And that is what a devotee's vision is, right? Bhagavad Gita tells us, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. One who sees me everywhere and everything in me, right? And this is our goal. Everything, we live in this material world, we're not going to escape from it, but everything we see, everything we do, everything we have, everything, we have to see Krishna in it, right? And so we have to beg. We're drowning. We may think we live a good life, and by Krishna's mercy, we may have a good life, right? But still we're in this material world, and we are drowning. And even though we have no qualifications, Krishna's very merciful. He's very kind, right? If we surrender unto him, what can he not give us, right? So we just have to give up this independent thinking and learn to depend on Krishna. And, some of us, we leave home. Some of us, like Dhṛtarāṣṭra did. But it's not just physically leaving home. It's a transformation of your consciousness. Right? That is leaving home. So leaving behind these attachments, leaving everything, or letting us come to a position where everything reminds us of Krishna, and all these moments connect us to Krishna. Every moment you have in this life, let it be connected to Krishna, somehow or another, in whatever you're doing. And without this, our renunciation is incomplete, right? You cannot just be detached. You have to be detached and attached to Krishna. So, Krishna, he's the source of all love. If we attach to Krishna, we receive so much love, right? Don't forget, just because you're detaching and attaching to Krishna doesn't mean that you're not going to Krishna will reciprocate in the best of ways. He is the best giver of all gifts, right? And so, and that is why we should become greedy for Krishna, right? And beg for his mercy, because he is the source of all love, right? We think we experience love in this world through family, friendship, relationships, all these relationships, but they're all temporary. Relationships with children, husband, everything, like all these and stuff. But when we forget Krishna, that love is becoming distorted, and that's what we're living in this material world, right? If we look at all these individuals out there in the world, they have forgotten their relationship, their loving relationship with Krishna, and they're trying to love so many other things. I love my dog. I love my cat. That's all I need in my life. Okay. Love becomes distorted to these temporary things. But Dhṛtarāṣṭra's love towards his sons, led to his blindness, led to all this injustice, led to suffering. And we see that in this material world. This distorted love, what does it lead to? But real love, when it's found in connection to Krishna, right, we experience a whole nother level of love, right? And then those relationships, based on our relationship with Krishna, also experiences a whole different level of love. And that is what we're trying to get to. And how do we do this? On a practical level, we learn from these particular verses. But number one, don't be like Dhṛtarāṣṭra, right? This is what we're learning in this particular chapter. Don't be like him, right? But what we can do is we can start chanting. If you don't chant, the pure way to do devotional service in this particular Kali Yuga is to chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If we get to a point in our lives where we cannot do anything else, we can always chant, right? Even if to the point we can't chant verbally in our mouth because we're too weak, we can even continuously mentally chant, right? And stuff. Or even hear. Put chanting on and just hear, right? If you get to that point in your life where you can't speak, think, whatever, or you can always hear. Hearing is the last thing we'll go, right? As we lose our body, the last thing we'll be hearing. So hear the holy names constantly. Be attached to Krishna. And hearing regularly. If we hear all of this regularly, even in our sleep, we can chant. Right? You won't even know it. You'll be having dreams of Krishna, chanting of Krishna. All those things will be happening within the mind as you are unconsciously sleeping, right? So, hear regularly. This is why we want to do that. Because at the time of death, whatever you're thinking, you will become. Associate with devotees. Devotees help each other. It is hard in this particular material world. Maya is strong. Attachments are even stronger. Right? Devotees help devotees think of Krishna. Be attached to devotees, right? Serve with feeling, right? Whatever you are doing, do it with love and affection towards Krishna, and he will reciprocate it towards you. These are the things we have to do. Not so difficult. Cultivate greed for these things. This is what you want to be greedy. You want to be greedy to chant all the time, to hear all the time, to associate devotees, and to serve. This is your greatest jewel, diamond, right? Get greedy. Go steal this right now, today, right? This is what we want. This is what we want. So, in this chapter, we know that Dhṛtarāṣṭra is coming to the end of life now. He's going to leave this particular body. Don't worry about the body. Body is just ashes anyhow at the end of the day, right? Dirt, ashes, whatever you want to call it and stuff. But what will carry forward is what this consciousness is and stuff. So as you prepare this consciousness, whether it's going to be into your next life or whether back home, back to Krishna, prepare it today and prepare it to go back home, back to Krishna. Don't prepare for the next life. Try to prepare for that. So, and let that remembrance take you back home, back to Godhead. Thank you so much. That's a little bit what I wanted to say today. Do you guys have any thoughts, comments, reflections. Love to hear it and stuff. So we know this is a great chapter, learning. So thank you. Jai. Dhṛtarāṣṭra, Shrimadbhagavatam. Jai. Srila Prabhupada. Jai. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yeah.
Very nice class.
That's practically speaking, we can't renounce anything because we don't own anything in this material world, so we can't renounce.
No, technically no. It's not ours.
To attach to Krishna, fully depend on Krishna. But we have to gradually develop that surrender to Krishna. It's not like one day it's like, oh Krishna, I'm just surrendering.
Yeah.
Again you'll be doing all nonsense things. And then again you'll be aware. But slowly, like step by step, like one step. Like maybe attentive chanting, sadhana makes that progress.
So I will, in this forum, we can agree to disagree and stuff. Like, the faster, actually, not slowly, but the faster we can attach to Krishna, the better. You don't know if you're going to step out of this temple and die. Any moment, right? So however fast you can attach, right? That is the greed. Slowly, we think, slowly, I will come to Krishna. Tomorrow I'll chant maybe one more round, or I'll do this a little bit more, or, every birthday I will increase it. You don't know, and stuff. So, yes, I agree, but please forgive me, a little bit disagree and stuff. Attach as fast as you can, right? Because we just don't know and stuff. But make progress as quickly as possible, right? Our bodies our mind, everything, this, material attachments will slow you down, but even though you're fighting to attach to Krishna, but try as fast as you can, right? Things will pull you back, but you try fast.
So I have this weird thing about dying in my sleep. So every night I chant myself to sleep mentally.
Jay.
Every night. And since I've been coming, I've been doing that because I'm terrified of dying in my sleep.
Yes.
I don't want to miss it.
Yes. It's actually, some people think it's a blessing to, die in your sleep. You don't feel,
I don't know.
maybe not recognize or feel the pain or
My
be suddenly
grandmother was the best way in the world. She was washing dishes and fell over dead.
Wow.
That's what I want to do.
Both my grandparents left their body sleeping.
Nice,
They were just sleeping and woke up the next morning.
I don't know what it
found
is.
them.
I don't know what it is about that, but for some reason I feel the need to experience the whole thing.
Yeah. But don't know how you're going to go. But that's why Srila Prabhupada actually, he wanted every evening to end with Krishna book reading. And during the evening time have Bhagavad Gita class and stuff. Because before bed, if you read Krishna book, right, a lot of times the last thought you have, instead of scrolling, like watching the latest reel, if you read Krishna book, or if you think of something about Krishna or hear about Krishna, and you go to bed with that thought, your consciousness is still activated while you're sleeping, your subconscious, right? And stuff. And then you might be thinking of Krishna during that time. So what you're doing is perfect, Prabhu, and stuff. Because that will eventually, who knows what happens, but eventually the last thought you went to sleep with, might be the first thought that thought is still circulating in your subconscious, before you fully wake up the next morning. So if you have Mahamantra playing in your head, yay. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Right?
It's just become a habit, really.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It should be everyone's habit. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks for class. That was very sweet.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? If not, then we can end and start again tomorrow. Next lesson. Dhṛtarāṣṭra, Shrimadbhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, sorry. Very, very important announcements if you're still listening with us to this point. April 30th, we have Nrsimhadev Chaturdasi Festival here at Temple. So please don't miss that. That is the actual day of Lord Nrsingadev's appearance. And May 3rd, we're having our cultural program. It's a beautiful drama that is done by the Vaishnava community in our Devasadan Mandir, his Hare Krishna temple. So they'll be doing a wonderful drama that day on the appearance of Lord Nrsingadev. It's always an amazing thing to see, so please don't miss it. And then this Sunday, we have our Sunday school graduation. So please come support the youth because they are going to be our future foundation in Krishna consciousness. So supporting youth in their Krishna consciousness is extremely important for the progression of Krishna consciousness in the world. So that's this Sunday. Also Saturday, we have Bhakti Riksha. So as we're talking about Bhagavad Gita, please come learn these lessons every Saturday from 5:30 onwards at the temple. We are doing Bhagavad Gita classes. Everyone is welcome to join. No prerequisites or requisites required. Just come and stuff. And Tuesdays, every Tuesdays, we chant the holy names and doing kirtan. So join us this kirtan. And then 9 o'clock you go to bed and you'll have kirtan playing in your head. So, no worries about, if you leave your body on Tuesday, no problem. Come to kirtan every Tuesday. So here at Devasadan Mandir. So these are programs we have ongoing. And obviously Shrimadbhagavatam class on a daily basis. So join us for all these programs and praying in the future that we will have Krishna conscious theater programs. So playing on the big screen here at the temple. We have our own Krishna conscious movies that we will be hopefully playing in the future. So please stay tuned to that and come hopefully every Sunday to watch a film. So film festival. But thank you so much. Any other announcements I'm missing? No? Good? Okay, great. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Dhanvat pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.